whoever has a response or a question, you can stand up, you can come up here to this microphone. Like I said, this is about the audience and the panel. We're going to go start at the end over here, and I'm just going to give a quick introduction, and then I'm going to let each person give just a 30-second, 45-second description of what they do and how they impact their techniques and tactics on hog hunting. So I appreciate everybody being up here. Some of these folks up here I've had an opportunity to hunt with. Some of them I haven't. Some of them I've spent a lot of time in the woods with and met some really good newfound friends at this event. So I appreciate everybody coming. We're going to get things started here. Down here we got Hog Daddy. He's got what they call hold a hog trap. And it's a hog device. It's a trap. It's an open trap that deploys the snare. And we got Rod Pinkston with Jaeger Pro. He does tactical hog control. He's got a new hog trap system called the Mine System. You go to his YouTube site, you'll see some really cool footage and how he takes the whole sounder, one group at a time. Moving right along, we've got Brian Pigman WACO, and we have Terrell Coleman, and we have with Heli Hunter, we have Craig Mayer with Heli Hunter, we have Keith Rand with Pigman the Series, Sportsman's Channel, 3-time Telly Award. Come on. We have Clark Osborne with Cottonwood Armory and Tactical Hog Control. We have Randy Brown with Extreme Hog Hunter Magazine. We have Glenn Guest with Hog Zombies. We're going to start down there with you, Daddy Hog, and just give us a brief description of your product and what you've come up with, and we're going to work our way down.
All right, sir. Am I on? You can hear me?
You're on.
All right, well, thank you for having us up here. First off, we're up from Flatonia, Texas, south of Austin. What we did was develop a leg hold trap that delivers a spring-loaded snare to the hog's leg. So it's all about that spring-loaded snare, folks. The trap is just a snare delivery device. So with that, we are able to catch and hold large hogs. Our device is also animal-friendly. We have a tube on the catch end. Should you catch, and you will eventually, a deer or a dog, you can release any bycatch on horn. Pass it on.
I'm Rod Pinkston. We on?
Let's get these mics live, fellas.
Mics are not on. No, we on?
Yeah. He's going.
All right, we're good. I'm Rod Pinkston, the CEO of Jaeger Pro. What we're basically known for, all of us are retired soldiers. We study feral hogs like we do Iraqis and Afghans. So we brought all of the technology that we use against a two-legged enemy, against a four-legged enemy. We've been awarded the largest Environmental Protection Agency contract for hog removal. So I want to give everybody a flavor of how hunting revolves around what's going on with agriculture, with what we're going to have to do in the next 40 years with the world population growing, and we got the same amount of acreage on the ground, how we're going to have to grow that for the rest of the world and how hogs impact that. And for the farmers and landowners out there, how to use technology to better manage hogs and taking out the whole entire sounder. Put a lot of science behind what it is that we're doing, as well as the technology.
Right. Thanks, Rod. We got Brian.
Hello. Man, I'm turned up pretty hot. I'm coming in hot. I'm Brian Quacker, Big Man from Big Man the Series on Sportsman's Channel. And I don't know if I'm saving the environment, but I'm having a good time, and we're killing a lot of animals. Predators, hogs, whatever is legal. Remember I said that, legal to kill. I have hunted with Rod, and I'm telling you right now, these guys know how to kill them at night, and he's very professional. So if you ever want to do it, I would recommend going with him. I'm obviously, if you watch the show, a better shot than he is. Just wanted to clear that up. And moving on down the line, you recognize these guys. It's Terrell.
Yeah, I'm Terrell Coleman with Heli Hunter. We are a aerial hog eradication. That's what we do. I think Rod and I share some views on exactly what we do. Craig and I both agree that we are not traditional hunters. That's not what we're about. We're about hog eradication from the air. Craig?
That's right. I guess you don't have to hold it. You know, they'll turn it up.
He's got
for
it
you.
all on. He's
Look at
serious,
that.
man.
Lapel mic. I agree. That's it, guys. Whether you believe in what we do with aerial hunting, I'd love for y'all to fire all the questions questions you want. If you have questions about aerial hunting, you know, we're not traditional hunting per se. We're out for eradication. We're out to kill as many pigs, save as many farms and ranches, and as much crop damage as we can. That's what we're about. But whether you hunt with dogs, traps, whether you're night hunting, thermal hunting, hunting with helicopter, as long as you're killing pigs, you're A-okay in my book.
All right.
I'm Keith Ram, Pigman the Series, and I guess what I do for Brian is try to keep him in business, keep him straight. Not do a terrible job. That's right. Otherwise, you know, I have the most of the dogs, and me and my two other partners own the dogs and do most of the dog stuff for Pigman and the Series. And anyway, well, I guess if you want to ask questions about dogs, I'll not anywhere near an expert, but might know a little bit. Me and Randy can go back and forth about that here in a minute. So
I may disagree with that, but anyway.
You're not supposed to comment down there, man. It'll
Well, I'm
go
Clark
ahead.
Osborne. I own Cottonwood Armory. I'm also one of the partners in Tactical Hog Control. We specialize in guided night vision and thermal hog hunts. We also make a line of firearm suppressors. We sell a full line of night vision and thermal optics. So just like the rest of these guys, I mean, a lot of things we do in traditional hunting. I mean, we're into eradication. We're trying to knock down as many of these things as we can, and we're going to use whatever technology we can to do it.
I'm Randy Brown. I'm with Extreme Hog Hunter magazine. It's a 68-page full-color publication distributed nationwide. It covers all sides of hog hunting. Primarily, it covers a lot of dog stuff. That might be part of my fault because I eat, sleep, and breathe it. I am a dog man by heart, and I probably always will be. I love it, but most of all, you know, I'd like to thank everybody for supporting our magazine and helping it grow like it has. We've enjoyed doing it, and my magazine is to support the sport, to give you and share with you the stories and the different techniques and styles that people do, and we're all on the same team. We're all, whether it's eradicating them or hunting them for sport with dogs, trapping them, it's all fun, and that's, you know, we want to cover all aspects of it. I appreciate everybody coming out and everybody stopping by and looking at the magazine and subscribing like you have, and thanks for turning out to this event.
I'm Glenn Guest with Hog Zombies, and my wife and 5 kids, they all hunt with me. We spend a lot of time hunting hogs. Every method just about you can use with a firearm or a bow. Hunt them in the daytime, hunt them at night, try to teach as many people as we can how to hunt, find and hunt hogs. And spent the last 20 years studying hog vocalizations and how to call them in, and worked with Fox Pro to get some sounds to use to get the hogs to come to you rather than you having to go to them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, but when it works, it's fun.
I'd like to thank our panel for coming up here. I want to turn it over to the audience. I know that there's some flavor up here of the tactics and the sport of hunting. I'm going to turn it over to you guys, and don't be bashful. I can tell you these guys up here aren't. So feel free to open up to any questions you have for the panel. If you're sitting in the audience, you have to say something.
not everybody at once.
All right. Don't be embarrassed, man. Get on up there.
Well, thank you.
right.
Thank
Wow, thank you, Jamie.
Whoa, come on.
Yeah, don't be bashful, man.
If I'm calling a hog and I use my decoys, do I use a grunt call or a squeal call? What is the best way to get a hog to come back to me?
Squeal is a distress sound.
Okay.
It tells other hogs something's eating me. Some hogs will run from it like something big's got a hold of them, and some sows will respond to it. I've had boars respond to it.
Okay.
Usually big sows will. I've had a lot more luck with grunts. Sow protection sound, if you ever mess with hogs in a pen, you can get a hold of a pig, and that sound, the sow kind of... That'll bring them in a lot of times, and it brings in all sizes. We'll bring in little bitty ones up to great big ones. You never know what's going to come, but we start out using, a lot of times, if we know there's a big group of hogs in the area, we'll use a sow protection sound, try to lure them in with that. If that don't work, then yeah, we'll try pig squealing sound.
Okay.
And if we're targeting big boars, we use other sounds, different types of grunts.
Okay. All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Let me say there, Jamie's product, Bar Down, we use them on hog-to-hog traps. We have some videos of hogs attacking his decoys, and we've caught quite a few hogs on those decoy sets. So that's a good product, Jamie.
And the product is basically, don't steer me wrong, but it's like a feather flex type decoy, real portable, folds, and a lot of people do put these in traps, and he's got some good testimony down at his booth you ought to check out. Who's next for the panel? Come on. Sam Langford? Come on. Come on, Sam. You got to have some question up here.
Ask a hard one, Sam.
Come on up here, young lady.
Hello. Y'all gonna have to get up here now.
Come on up here, young lady.
Alrighty.
Come in,
Stand
Sam.
up right here.
Well, Randy, if you'd give us a little insight, I know that you hunted in a lot of different places. Some of us are kind of localized and only hunt in certain areas. What do you think maybe, it's a pretty broad question, you and Keith both, what do you think is maybe probably the most versatile dog that could be used for a strike dog?
Chihuahua.
That's why I didn't ask you.
Fox Terrier.
That's a good question, and I don't really know that there's a correct answer. I mean, you got people. I mean, we hunt with mostly yellow black-mouthed curs. We got some black-mouthed cur Catahoula cross dogs, and my best dog, believe it or not, is a plot black-mouthed cur cross. Dog's got a lot of range, a lot of leg, and don't go find a hog most all the time. Now, Clinton, that's with us a bunch, is got a little yellow jip that'll go do it all the time. I know that we hunted with TR and them a bunch in Alabama. Heck, you got a bird dog that will go out there and strike a hog. A little feist dog that'll go out there and strike a dog. So breed specific, I wouldn't say that there's probably anything particular. I mean, you can go over there and ask old Shep and those boys over there. They some real dog men as well. And every dog it depends on the dog. It's just like a human. You got somebody that's a bad son of guns, got more heart, got more go, got more try than the next guy. So I don't think it's necessarily breed specific. Yellow black-mouthed dogs are probably about my favorite, just because I like the way they look, and for nothing else, and they'll kind of get a little gritty. But otherwise, shoot, that's a tough one to answer. But it's kind of, what do you think, Randy?
Yeah, I'm about the same. I mean, I've seen yard dogs mixed up, dump dogs, pick them up at the pound. I mean, I've seen people using all of it, and that's the good thing about hog dogs. It's really determines on what works best for you. Whether you want a straight bay dog or greedy dog or a running catch dog, your terrain, your style of hogs. Some hogs bay up just right off hand. You don't need these long range dogs like we have some, and Keith has a lot of them. But we run basically 2 packs. They're mixed up breed wise. We run hound cur crosses. I predominantly run black mouse myself. But if your hogs are runners, then what we call a short range hot-nosed dog really ain't gonna do you no good, because he's just gonna get outran every time. So the hog hunter, if they're in an area that they hunt the most and they keep getting outran a lot, then a lot of them are cross some hound or start using a little bit of hound. But a lot of people don't like the bark, but they'll throw some hound in it, mix them up a little bit, and make the dogs work for them. Just swap around and the Catahoula's a good breed. The Plot's a good breed, but there, like he says, there is no answer for that. It's just what dog works best for you and your style of hogs.
Hitman, you got anything to say about that, Herschel? We got the Herschel Hitman Hero here. You ain't got nothing to say?
Come on with it.
He's out, man.
Real quick, y'all both mentioned hound crosses. Do your hound crosses, are they pretty much silent on the trail, or they give mouth? Your
Say that again. I'm sorry. I was jacking around over here. Wasn't paying attention. I'm
Are
sorry.
your hound crosses silent, or do they give mouth?
You know, for the most part, they are. I got a red dog that'll, if it's super hot, he'll open up pretty good. But for the most part, they ain't gonna say nothing until they get there and they're looking. But you get on a super hot track, you know, hog just come out of the tank, going over the tank down, and we just kind of happen to be there at that time. You know, yeah, they're gonna open up. But I tell you right now, you know, it's kind of like, you know, dogs trashing or, you know, barking on the track or whatever. I mean, there's people that'll tell you that their dogs don't do that, won't ever do that. Well, they tell you your story most of the time. But yeah, and I don't mind it all too much. You know, sometimes it's kind of fun to hear the race, but for the most part, most of the dogs that we have are silent on the track. The hound dogs, if it's really hot, will sure open on the track if it's pretty hot. You know. Appreciate that.
Oh, there we go. Come on.
What's the best kind of bait y'all use for hogs?
Corn.
What was he asked? I didn't hear your question.
What's the best kind of bait y'all use for hogs?
You know, we've gone through all of it: sour mash, corn, Jello, diesel fuel, oil. You could just go on and on, but really, when it all boils down to it, just shelled corn's hard to beat. You can come up with all kind of mixtures that you want to use. We mostly just mix it with red soda water and let it sour, but it's just hard to beat shelled corn.
If you read the labels on nearly all the hog bait, at the very last of it, they tell you nearly every one of them says best when mixed with corn. So, I mean, that's their food source. They like it.
Here's the hog bait. I've been asked a lot of times that same question. I'll tell you the very best bait of all, and it's without a doubt, and that is the absence of human scent. Use your gloves, use your rubber boots, and the absence of human scent, no matter what you're trapping. Canines, hogs, whatever it is. Use gloves.
Okay, thank you.
Good job, buddy.
Oh.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Because I was asking about the bait as well. We baited the traps one night, and we put up a game camera, and there were no hogs, but all the corn and stuff was gone. So the next night we saw that we saw mice and birds coming to get the corn. So, and then the next night there were some hogs. So do they come? What's their pattern and morning feeding, night feeding? Do they go nocturnal if you shoot one? And you know, what's
Hogs
their
by
pattern?
their mere nature are nocturnal animals. They're going to go nocturnal. Once you set some dogs on them, and dogs are great. Dogs are probably the best way to get hogs out of an area. But like where you're doing there, and you was talking about your box traps, we have a combination that we use. And just like these guys talking about their dog or this dog, we don't trash anybody else's thing. We take a pump-up sprayer and put a 2-liter bottle of red soda water in it, and then we put about half a bottle of our hog urine in it. And we pump it up, spray the box trap, spray everything except our trap set itself. And that's been working good for us.
Does that include the corn? I mean, it's the...
Well, put the corn down. Spray your corn, yes. When you have the corn out, spray your bait. Spray it down with this combination I just come up with. Next guy's going to tell you something else with diesel fuel, and it works just as good. It's just what works for you.
Rod Pinkston, you trap a heck of a lot of them. I was going to say, Rod needs to speak up.
Rod, tell us a little about your trapping system technique you use, please.
I think
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing when it comes to, we don't have anybody here.
Hello.
Just give him a second.
Rod's down. Rod's down.
Black hog down.
All right, now we're up. I think the biggest thing when it comes to trapping, a lot of times we get pulled in on a big contract, a government contract. We've had everybody educate those hogs before we've gotten there. We've found our best success is we don't go and build a trap first. We go in, let's say we're working on a 3,000 acre contract. I might put 12 feeders out there every 300 acres apart. Because what we're trying to do in the shortest amount of time is find out where are the hogs. And if we put them out on Monday and come back and recover them on Thursday, we got cameras on there where we're getting pictures and video as it's happening. So we're looking at, we might have 15 hogs come to feeder number 2, and then when they leave feeder 2, they go to feeder 3. We might have 20 hogs that come into feeder 9. We come in here on Thursday, we're going to take out all the feeders except for 2 and 9. We're going to set up our enclosure over that area so the hogs already know where the bait's at. And by putting an 8-foot wide gate like we have on display and 6 16-foot long panels, now we got a 35-foot enclosure that they're walking into. I want to capture all 15 hogs at one time on 2, and I want to capture all 20 hogs on 9. So that way we're using technology to watch either live video or a camera that sends us a text picture. So we don't even have to be on site. If we get that text at 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night and all 15 hogs are there, we're gonna call the trap and close the door. So for us, because we're based on efficiency, I know I've talked to a lot of farmers that say, well, I can do the same thing in 30 days if I have a 3-foot wide door. I don't want to waste 30 days of bait and 30 days of fuel and 30 days of my time. I want to do the same thing and have 100% success in 48 hours or 72 hours. The bigger enclosure you build, the wider gate that you have, the quicker the hogs are going to trust that enclosure, especially if they've been educated by everybody else before you got there. Hogs are the 5th most intelligent animal that's out there. You just got to be smarter than the enemy in order to have success.
Amen.
I think what Rod touched on there, the way he's doing it with using the cameras and stuff, that's the biggest thing, is the lack of human activity. We've got a ranch where we do hog control on, and there's never anybody on that ranch, and you can kill a hog there any time of day. 11 o'clock in the morning, they'll be out in a wide open field just grazing like cattle. So lack of human activity around those traps. Everybody wants to check that trap as close as they can every day and walk around it and make sure the latch is working and check their camera, and you're contaminating that whole area. And the less human activity around it, the more likely you are to catch those bigger hogs, and that's what everybody's, most people want to catch the big ones. They don't want all them little bitty ones.
Got another question over here, I think, for Keith.
Yeah, I've been hunting for about 14 years with dogs. When you take a little bit loud, but anyways, when you take, do you find it better to put 2 or 3 dogs on the ground, 2 dogs? I mean, when you're out, trying to strike a bait, do you run 3 or 4 dogs at one time, or do you run 2 dogs?
Well, what we try to do most time is put 3 or 4 dogs down, and not very many more than that. We always run, a lead strike dog. You're gonna have a help dog or 2 that's gonna, they can still find the hog, but for the most part, you got your 1 strike dog, and we usually run a puppy or something like that. There's some times whenever we got a bunch of people that go with us, and everybody wants to put their dogs on the ground, and I mean, you know how that goes, and so we've had a whole pack of them suckers on the ground before. It ain't really good to do it, in my opinion. We got a lot of people that do, but we sure try to run, 3 to 4. Usually, best dog, help dog, and the puppy. We always got, somebody trying to come up, make another dog. So for the most part, we 3 or 4 dogs. Yeah.
Well, that's probably just about what we run, 2, 3 dogs at one time, and it seems if you get a hog, they'll bay up a lot quicker. They're not so rough on it, make it run so far. That was just my question.
Yeah, a lot of times what we see too there, you put too much heat on them and they don't stay. They're gonna break and run. You got a couple dogs that'll back up bay. Nowadays, there's so many people running dogs, especially in our area. There's a lot of people that are running dogs that probably shouldn't be, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Just we're educating these hogs, just like he's talking about with trapping. There's a lot of hogs out there that's educated on these dogs now. I know if they just keep running, eventually they're gonna get away most of the time. You get in a big hog, he's gonna run you through shelves and all that stuff. Like you've probably seen that if you've been hunting as long as you've seen it. So it just helps to not put as much heat on with fewer dogs, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have dogs that long range dogs, short range dogs. Closer. Hello? All right. Anyway, where was I at here? Anyways, whenever we hit, usually hit a big pack of hogs or whatever, you have too many dogs in there, or you think you got enough dogs in there, and then you end up not catching any. You have dogs going this way, that way, you know how that ends up.
I don't even know if that's just part of hunting. You buy a big old pack of hogs, it ain't never gonna turn out good most time anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it don't matter if you got 3 dogs, 2 dogs, or 10 dogs. I mean, it's just going to be. You buy a big old bunch of hogs like that, most of the time it ain't ever good. It ain't ever good. We made a set about 2 weeks ago. We were talking about that earlier over there, and we got in there probably 30, 40 hogs in there. And we sent the bulldog in there, and he catches a great big white spotted hog. Another big hog comes by and knocks the bulldogs off. You know, we're in a race trying to catch our bulldogs. We're trying to catch them, and we're scattered just like you say, like a covey quail, 50 different directions. So, you know, that's gonna happen. That's part of hunting, part of it. You know.
All right, thank you.
Has anybody else got any questions for the panel? I got a couple things. This is for Craig and Daryl. Tell me a little bit about when this pork chopper law came into effect and how this thing was passed, and how many hogs you guys are taking down on a good day. What is a good day and what is a bad day? I guess any day is a good day as long as you're taking hogs.
Check, check.
Yep.
Check.
You ahead.
Check.
He's hung up right now. And he is not the pilot, just to be clear on that.
Yeah, we live longer that way when I'm not flying. You know, basically, folks, you know, we were doing this before they passed the pork chopper law of September 1st, 2011, and made it legal for us to, you know, become an aerial outfitter and let other people enjoy the experience of shooting pigs out of the air. But, you know, basically, we're landowners. We were fighting pigs on the ground, trapping, running dogs, shooting at night, doing everything we could do, and we weren't keeping up with population control there in our area. So basically what the pork chopper law did was we were having to charge the farmers. The landowners were having to pay. And basically what we've done is taken the financial responsibility of population control, placed it on the shoulders of the willing, and let the sportsmen get out there and be able to shoot the pigs. You know, it's a win-win-win situation. The sportsmen are happy. They get to fly in a helicopter and shoot pigs. As far as numbers go, I think our season started about Christmas. We go mid-December to mid-March. I think we're about 3,150 some odd hogs in that period of time. You know, basically what we can offer is to a farmer or a landowner when, like he was saying, we don't want to get 2 or 3 pigs out of a group or sounder. If there's 25 hogs in a sounder and we find them with the helicopter, we kill all of them. That's the business we're in. We're in eradication. It's not about the hunting. But it's a win-win-win. The shooters are happy. The landowners are happy. And we're happy.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
To go along with that, you know, we killed roughly 3,200 hogs this season. There'll be more than that born tonight in the state of Texas. So, you know, until it sure enough get a handle on the population, we're running behind.
Right. Thanks a lot. I got a question for Clark Osborne with Cottonwood Armory. My question is, I've been wanting a suppressor for my gun. I predator hunt, a hog hunt. Tell me how effective these are, and how it will improve my hunt if I can hit, as far as the crack, the sound. Tell me what these suppressors would do as part of my arsenal.
Well, hello. Yep. Okay. You know, basically, I mean, you've got a muffler on your car. You might as well put a muffler on your gun. And you know, a lot of people, when we do our hog hunts, they think, you know, they see the suppressors and they think that we're doing that just to be cool and we're going to try to kill every hog in the sounder, and we really are. But you know, with a rifle shot, you got 2 issues. You got the muzzle blast, and then if you're shooting supersonic ammo, you got the sonic crack. When that bullet leaves the end of the barrel, if it's traveling faster than the speed of sound, it's going to break the sound barrier, and it's going to kind of sound like a bullwhip. You know, just that, you know, that sound. And if you're going to shoot supersonic ammo, there's nothing you can do about that. You know, but it sort of depends. If you're going to really try to be quiet, you know, you run subsonic. You know, for performance, we're going to run supersonic ammo. You know, it's just one of the main reasons that we run suppressors on our guns is simply so that everybody in the group doesn't have to wear hearing protection. So they can, it's a safety issue. They can hear range commands. You know, if I'm telling somebody to swing left, swing right, you know, you're shooting a little low. I mean, we always joke about it, but we can say, you know, don't shoot that hog, that one's a cow. And
Is this any better?
yeah. Oh, hey. Like I said, it's just mainly safety. Just so that the hunters can hear the range commands. You know, but right now in Texas, it's now legal to hunt game animals with a suppressor as of, you know, September past. You know, a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't realize, you know, it's even legal to own a suppressor. You know, you can have a suppressor, you can have a short barrel rifle, a fully automatic weapon. You just got to go through the right channels. I mean, it takes about 6 months right now, $200, and then some paperwork to the ATF, and you can have whatever you want. If you want a machine gun, you can have a machine gun. That's one set of paperwork. If you want a suppressed machine gun, there's another set of paperwork for the suppressor.
Thank you.
Sure.
I got a question for Rod Pinkston. Tell me a little bit more on the mine trap, and I understand you have the Department of Environmental Protection. Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all have the biggest contract. Can you tell me just briefly how that works? I'm gonna give you this microphone. I think it's working better.
First of all, whenever we get a contract like that, I like to look back and think, how did we get to there? You know, I mean, there are plenty of guys that run dogs. There are plenty of people that are around there that actually hunt traditionally. There's a lot of other people that trap. And one of the things why I wanted to have this panel to kind of get out, kind of like what you were talking about earlier. You know, I think eradication is a word that a lot of people don't like to hear. Guys, we're never going to eradicate a feral hog in the United States. All we can do is better manage them. So as hunters, one of the things that frustrates me, because I like to hunt hogs with dogs, but if I'm sitting on a farmer's porch as the dog guys are down there running and they come up and they got one boar tied up on top of the truck, and that farmer fires them because they only killed one hog and they saw 50, don't be pissed off at me, because I'm going to go in the next week and we're going to kill 50. You know, to me, we got to be smart as hunters out here and looking at what is it we're trying to do. Whatever that farmer or landowner is asking you to do as a hunter, do it. We're putting a nail in our own coffin when we're not doing what the landowner's asking us to do. I want to get that off my craw.
Yeah, he was about to snap up here. I could feel the stress level.
I've got another question for Rod. I know you wrote for Boar Hunter magazine for quite some time, and you caught a lot of grief, correct me if I'm wrong, from the dog community. Can you kind of hit on that a little bit?
And I think because we've killed 10,000 hogs in the last 5.5, 6 years, a lot of people think that, you know, we're going to kill all the hogs in the state of Georgia. I'm not from Texas, I'm from Georgia. And again, that's impossible. We approve of anybody killing a hog. I don't care how you're doing it. It's one of those things where we bring in dog guys, if we're looking at the situation just like I did yesterday in my presentation. Whenever you look at the different branches of the military, you know, we bring in the Air Force first on a battle and soften the enemy up from the air. Then you bring in the Navy and hit them from the sea. Then you bring in the Army and the Marines. We're all working together on the same battlefield. We just got a different mission. So the same thing, we're going to trap heavily in the wintertime when there's nothing else out there for the hogs to eat. They're more likely going to come into feeders in the wintertime after the mass crops are gone and before farmers start planting corn. After farmers start putting corn and peanuts in the ground, then a hog doesn't necessarily want to come to a trap. Then we're going to pull out the thermal optics. If we've done our job in December, in January and February and March, we've knocked out those sow and pig sounder groups in the traps. Now all we got left are the boar bachelor groups that are coming down there. So we can actually knock off all the hogs on that particular property in that 6 months, but everybody on the property that's outside of there, we still got those hogs in there. So we're not eradicating them, but we've taken places that farmers lost $30,000 and $40,000 to crop damage in the year prior that we managed it. And now we get a Christmas gift every year because now they're losing maybe $500 a year. Did we eradicate the hogs in that whole county? No, but we better managed it so now the farmer can make his living and we're not pushing up the cost of groceries out there for the public. It's a win-win situation. And as much as, just like the Eastern Sports Show, when they canceled the Eastern Sports Show, one of the things that bothered me was that we got fishermen and archers and things like, way to go, gun guys. Hey, we're all in the same, we're rowing the same boat. All right, I don't care if we're dog guys, we're night guys, we're trappers, we need to support each other in what's going on. So, I don't know, maybe we just got to take a bigger look at it. We're all on the same team. We just got to learn how to play nice together.
Can I add to that? That's why we catch a lot of flack for being aerial hunters. People saying we're not hunting. We do traditional hunting as well. You know, we're just another option. And they kill a lot of hogs. We kill a lot of hogs. We're all in this together. The cool thing about it, and the one point that I want to stress is, if you like dog hunting, go dog hunting. If you like sitting in a stand and shooting them off a feeder, sit in a stand, shoot them off a feeder. If you like trapping them, trap them.
Or
if you
if
want
you
to
just
shoot them
like
out
to
of,
see them die,
if you want to shoot
do
them out
whatever
of,
you want to do.
if you want to shoot
Go
them out of a
hunt with
helicopter, shoot them out of a helicopter. God bless America. God bless Texas. You have the choice to do what you want to do,
Exactly.
and that's what's important.
Amen. Amen.
And I saw all of these things over the years, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna make a TV show, and just about hog hunting and all the different ways that you can do it. And I run into all of these guys over the years, and whether you want to do it with rod, you know, at night, thermally, or obviously sit at home and watch a TV and flip the door down on them, that's pretty good. Or you want to go kill 500 hogs in 2 days with these guys. It's just kind of whatever trips your trigger. But the main thing is, there's two different groups of people here. There's people that are interested in the eradication of hogs, and there's people that are just, like Craig says, just hunting hogs. So just know that everybody has their place in this world of hog hunting, and it makes no difference. There's no way. If we all combined forces and started flying around at night dropping hog traps and dogs, you're still not going to get rid of them, man. It's not going to happen. But enjoy yourself as you're doing it, and know, like Rod said, when they canceled that show, Bear Archery was one of the first people that stepped up to the plate that pulled out of that show. So this is a small knit group of a bunch of good people, and you guys have watched my show. You heard me say it. I don't meet no bad people in this industry. Whether you're a predator guy, a deer guy, a hog guy, as long as you are hunting and you're taking these kids out and you're teaching them how to hunt, then my hat is off to you. So anybody got anything, Randy, you got anything intelligent to say, or you just going to keep moving?
Negative.
All right. I've got one question here for Clark. One question I have. Tell us a little bit about this contraption you have at the front door. I've had a lot of people come up and ask me, what in the world is that thing? Can you tell me a little bit about what that thing is?
Well, that thing is an RSOV. It's a Ranger Special Operations Vehicle. That's what I hunt out of. It was made by Land Rover for the Army Rangers. It's basically a Land Rover. It's based on a 110 Defender frame. We've got a thermal imager on it on the front, you know, that works on a pan and tilt head. We've got monitors in the front for us to watch, monitors in the back for the clients to watch. You know, we goggle everybody up with a pair of Anvis 9 aviator style night vision goggles, so everybody's seeing, you know, they're seeing the deer and the possums and the coons and the skunks and the shooting stars and all that. One of us is looking for heat. We may round the corner and see the hogs at 200 or 300 yards. We may pick them up at a mile away on the thermal. You know, we'll stalk as close as we can, then we get out, you know, we'll drive as close as we can, and we get out and stalk the rest of the way on foot. We try to get you 50, 60 yards away from the hogs, and then after that, we're going to try to kill every single one of them. The lift on the back, I mean, we do a lot of wounded warrior hunts, and, you know, my heart goes out to those guys, and, you know, any of them that have mobility issues, it's really hard to get them on these long walking stalks sometimes. So, you know, my wife and I, we just decided, you know, we were going to do something about it, and you know, we got put in contact with a family that had lost a loved one. They'd bought a chair for him, that action track chair, the rubber tracked wheelchair. So we purchased it. We did the lift. So we're going to start doing a lot more wounded warrior hunts. And, you know, that's something that's near and dear to our heart. And, you know, that's just what we do. But I want to take a minute and just back up what these guys said. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're a hog hunter, dog hunter, whatever. Every single hog that you kill, that's one less that's out there. But you know, one thing that you said, you know, talking about the sport of hog hunting, and I guess the only problem with that, and I understand that and I appreciate that, but to me, I mean, I don't mind there being a sport of hog hunting as long as it is least on my neighbor's place. I don't want the sport on my place. I don't want the hogs there, you know what I mean?
You know, I hear that from a lot of people, except for the people that's selling, you know, a little bit of a hog product, and that's what they're making a living for. And I firmly believe that the hog has to be controlled. I really do. It is without a doubt, because of their breeding process and how often they breed. But when the eradication thing comes in effect, there's going to be a lot of people at this show right here and ain't going to have a product to sell. So I don't believe in the eradication, poisoning them, stopping them breeding. I mean, I absolutely love it. My family loves
Myself, I'm with you on that.
Everyone loves this sport, and the eradication, if you got a product or a service that you're applying to a hog, then when the eradication kicks in, you're going to be getting welfare from Obama. So
Raj, my man down there speaking the truth.
The way I look at it is when you got to control them, you got to hunt them, and the reason that hogs are wanting to be eradicated because the industry has not got around them and figured out how to make a ton of money on them like they have a 220-inch whitetail. And as soon as they do, there will not be eradicated ideas out there anymore. It'll be let's treat these things like a game animal and let's make some money.
Exactly. I just came from California and did a show, and every pig you kill in California, you pay over $70 for the tag. Every state in the United States does not have a hog problem. There are people in states that treasure a wild hog. They don't hate their guts. They don't try to burn them with napalm and kill them all. It's never going to happen anyway. You got two sides. I support both sides. And just like I say, I've hunted with Rod. His way is effective. There's no question. And then if you can keep Keith awake, it's a hell of a lot of fun. I just want to be clear on that. So I'm saying, like Randy, of course, I don't want to see them all gone, but they do have to be controlled. And me and Keith and Randy going hunting this evening with dogs or a bow and arrow, I ain't going to get rid of them. In places they need to be maintained, the population needs to be controlled. Of course, you have to implement some of these kind of measures. But if you're from a place like the state of California that treasures the wild hog, you will buy a license and you will pay almost $75 per pig tag. They love them. So there's both sides. If you got any questions for us afterwards, I'll be right here at my booth. I know these guys personally. All of them know a lot about hogs, and I'm just proud to have been part of promoting hog hunting to what it is today. It's come so far. Rod's been doing this longer than I've been on TV. These guys would have been there, but they didn't pass the laws. So all I've done since I started was try to promote hog hunting, hog eradication, whatever method. I'm down with him. You've seen him on my show. So I want to show you guys all the options, but I can see what Randy's saying about sometimes maybe the word eradication is a little harsh to a sporting guy. And I could see the conflict between dog hunters and helicopter hunters and trappers and Rod's way. So make sure you know that the biggest mistake that I've seen happen in this industry is everybody's education is not straight. You don't get the right information, then you make a decision about somebody or the way they do what they do. Go to that person and ask, why do you do that and what do you do?
Go with them.
You can email Randy, Rod, myself, Helly Hunter, any of these guys up here. Don't be afraid to do that if you got a personal question. And these guys will answer it to the best of their knowledge.
Sometimes they not like the answer, especially if they talk to the big man. I agree. I'm just saying that one of the things, I can give you a perfect example. I guess probably a month ago, would you say we went to the Effie Hill Ranch in Fairfield, Texas with these guys and shot 455 hogs in 2 days. 455 hogs in 2 days. That's a lot of hogs.
20,000 are left.
Well, what I'm going to say is 2 weeks later, we enter the Bumpers Hog Dog Contest in Buffalo, Texas. We go right back there, and we catch 14 hogs in about 24 hours. So, I mean, you ain't going to knock them out. I agree with dog hunters get a bad rap on a lot of things. Dog hunters give you guys crap in a lot of ways. I'm a dog hunter, so I'm passionate about that. But I'm also shot him out of a helicopter. I also shoot him with a crossbow, a compound bow, a rifle, any way that I can kill him. So, I mean, we, like they're saying, just reiterate one more time, is we all got to stick together on that stuff. I mean, we're all here. We got to protect the sport of hunting. Whether it's hogs, whether it's coyotes, whether it's rabbits, it doesn't matter. That's our right.
And you're saying, with that being said, also I support what these guys do in their hog eradication practices. It's got to be done in places, and that's just part of the deal. So, but a hog is, the last thing I'm going to say, I'm not saying nothing else. I'm tired of messing with Terrell. A hog is to me, is the smartest, most adaptive animal that is on this planet. Everywhere I've been, from Argentina to New Zealand to everywhere, California is a beautiful place. You would not think giant hogs would be in California, one of the best hog hunting destinations on the planet. I will go to California before I go back to Argentina, and that's the truth. So just know and appreciate what it is, and just be glad that you can be a part of it. And hogs are wonderful creatures.
Yeah, hog that.
Hey, and take your kids,
Give me a
because I
minute.
guarantee you these
not be
pigs
the-
are outbreeding
Hello?
us.
Can you hear me? I don't want to be the only one here not to make a comment on all this. It's
Okay.
sharp. Every one of these guys are right. Some of you folks don't have a pack of dogs. Some of you folks don't have a big ranch to go on. Some of you folks don't have night vision. Some of you don't have box traps. It's all, whatever works for you, do it, okay? Go out and have a good time, catch a few hogs, kill a few hogs, we eat ours. Just go out and have a good time with the hog thing.
Well, one of the things that I try.
I hope that was on. That was real smart, wasn't it?
Here's a perfect example of what he was just saying right here. This is what it's all about.
What is it?
Gentlemen in the audience, that's his grandkids with their hog. That's what it's about. It don't
Whatever
make no
works for
difference.
you.
Is that wonderful?
Yeah, that's
That's
great,
awesome.
man. If that's what you got, that's what you're at your disposal. Do it.
Exactly.
Now, these
Exactly.
10,000 acre places for running dogs. I was running dogs before these guys was born. Those big 10,000 acre places are drying up. Pawpaw died, Daddy died, Junior got the land. He's cut it up in 10 acres lots and sold them. Dogs don't read those signs. This guy here's got a heck of a product, but I don't have a place for it. Night vision stuff down there, that's great. I'm scared of helicopters. We
should
set a
be.
few hog traps once in a while. It works for us. I'll
That's
past mine.
one of the controversies between the hunters and the eradication guys. That's been going on a long time. Each and every method plays a part. You know, the trappers catch more little bitty hogs that guys sitting watching a corn feeder for a 200-inch whitetail, they're going to want to shoot a 300-pound boar or 400-pound boar. They want a big trophy hog. They're not going to shoot them little bitty ones a lot of times. Trappers catch a lot of them. These hog dog guys, they catch boars that I guarantee you ain't nobody else ever going to see. You might see some of them out of a helicopter, but them dogs will go in there and they'll target them great big boars that a lot of us are never going to see. We hunted a ranch that we killed a huge boar. I'm not even going to say what he weighed because it stirs up too much trouble, but don't you say it. There was 7 protein feeders and 7 corn feeders, and the guy said, man, something's empty in them feeders, but I'm never getting it on camera. And why he was never showing up on camera, I don't know. But, you know, there was cameras all over that place, and nobody ever saw that hog, and I killed him in the daytime. And just a fluke deal. But a hog like that, a lot of times, he was big.
How much do you weigh, Glenn?
I'm not saying.
Shoot him in the face.
How much did it weigh?
Under 6 and over 2.
This is my next question. I don't want to open up a can of worms. We're running out of time. We got a lot of content to cover. What's the biggest hog you ever caught in the hog snare?
Personally, I caught, can you hear me? Personally, I have caught a 347-pound hog. I have a female trapper that caught a 358-pound hog, and she sprayed my damn trap pink. There's some guys in Oklahoma that send me pictures. They didn't weigh the hog, and I wasn't there. I didn't see it in real life, and I didn't weigh it, but they went to look, I would say, over the 400-pound mark.
How about you, Rod?
We don't catch very many big hogs in a trap. The biggest hog we've shot at night's been 512.
512. How about you, Brian?
I'm not going to say because everybody's going to think I'm lying anyway. So
All right.
I'm going to go with 512 with Rod. I think, was that the night we hunted together, Rod? No.
That sounds good to me.
No, probably a bow hunt hog, probably. How big was the hog Clinton killed out of the helicopter?
if I'm not mistaken, the hog's gonna weigh 326.
Probably about that. You know, 340, 350 range. That's a big, big hog. And if you get anything much over that, he's got to have a little bit of Duroc or domestic or something in him somewhere down the line.
Gotcha.
Biggest one I've seen was a gilt, and she was in a little dance hall there in Stephenville. I don't know if I caught her or she caught me, but I'm sure needing a couple of your dogs.
What's the squealing?
Okay, he won't be coming.
We caught a bar hog about 5 years ago. He is still alive on Brian Qualkin's place too. That weighed right at 400 pounds. We weighed him just under 400, and he was a cut hog that we caught, and have never ever come close to that again with a dog. But we catch a lot of 200-pound hogs, a whole lot of 100-pound hogs, but it takes a heck of a hog to break 300 pounds. And this thing right here, like I say, is we still got him to this day, living at Brian's place over there. But
how about you?
Yeah, I'll agree. It takes a heck of a hog to clear 300. We've killed a couple, one 417, one I think 428. That's the heaviest one we've ever weighed. You know, but the number, there's a whole lot more hogs under 200 pounds out there than over. You know, clients will walk up to a hog and they'll think, oh, what do you think that one weighs? You know, 350, and I'm looking at maybe 175 dripping wet. But you know, it's just to the normal person. I mean, they just, I don't know, I don't know what's wrong, but maybe they look bigger at night. But like I said, to answer the question, you know, a couple of 400-pounders, a lot more under 200 than over.
What about you, Randy, with the dog?
65 pounds for Randy.
Yeah, you couldn't leg him. I think the biggest one we've ever put on scales is 314. And he was, that I know for a fact he weighed that. That is with his guts in him. So, you know, a 300-pound hog just don't come every day. It's very hard to find them. You have some areas where the genes, the type of hogs where they are, but our area is predominantly Russian, and the food source is not that heavy for them. So, you know, when we catch a 200-pound hog, we're pretty excited about it. It's a heck of a fight. But, you know, 300 pounds is, they're out there. Yeah, a lot of people, especially South Georgia, they catch a lot of big hogs, 350, 400. Our area has very, very few bar hogs because everybody shoots them. So, you know, breaking that 300 is just a goal for us.
I'm still not going to tell you.
Oh, come on.
But
come on, Glenn.
I thought you had him then.
I've got one pinned up that I cut out of his mama's belly. Shot a big pregnant sow, cut 6 pigs out of her. We could only get 2 of them to breathe. And he's been in captivity his whole life. And I'll have pictures of him up here tomorrow. He's 100% feral hog. Everybody looks at him and says, oh, it's a Russian boar, it's a Russian boar. He's just a feral hog. I can tap him on the back with a stick and tell him to lay down, and he'll ease over sideways like a dog. And with his back pressed against my armpit right here, I cannot reach his chest. And he's 100% feral, and he's huge. I've not fed him nothing special. He's had table scraps and corn, and that's it. His favorite thing is eggs right out of your hand. He'll take them out of your hand and carry them around in a circle for 10 minutes before he'll break them and eat them. But he'll do anything for an egg.
Well, I want to thank everybody. Is there anybody out here forever? Hold your peace. If anybody has anything to add or questions, this is the time to do it. We need to keep moving on with the program. I want to thank everybody for participating. Hog Daddy, Rod, Brian, Terrell, Craig, Keith, Clark, Randy, and of course Glenn Guess. These guys are going to be in different booths. A lot of these guys are pro staff for companies. Some of them have their own booths. I'd like for you to go by there, and if you're not too shy, you can go up to them and ask them just about anything you want to ask.
I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you people coming out to support this organization. I was one of me and Keith and Randy, that's where we actually met Randy the first time, and Rod was at Ken's event, and we talked him into bringing it to Texas. The turnout was good where we was, but I said, you ought to try Texas, and I think if these guys come back next year and the year after, I'm pleased with the turnout, but I think it can be 100 times bigger than it is right now. So I just want to say thank you to everybody personally for coming out. I'll be at my booth, maybe at Rod's. I'll be around, so I'll be ready to talk to anybody that has any questions.
Thank y'all very much. Okay.